everyone. It's the on. Wait a minute. I'm not the on notice. He's standing up there. Okay.
Oh, wait. Didn't we say we'd start this one a little bit weird? Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. You big voluptuous people, you. Are you going to stay down there?
Help, I can't get up.
I can't get you up either, because I can't get up. Help us. Okay. Are you going to make it? Oh, wonderful.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I was looking up like there's some camera there or something. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
To...
Everybody. From both sides.
Ha!
Oh,
Okay.
my gosh. I forgot what it was for a second. See, it'd been so long.
It's been a week and a half.
Oh, my
since
God.
we
I thought
recorded.
maybe we weren't going to do this ever again.
Nope.
But then here we are.
Just like half of our series.
Yes.
See, he can't let Kirby have the spotlight. He's got to take the spotlight every time.
And I'm not going to let you sit on my lap, so let's continue on.
With your host, Dean of the Coons, and your other host,
Faja.
You make it so depressing every time.
Faja. Just this little thing off in the corner. So go ahead and continue.
He's only got a spotlight once a week,
That's
so he
right.
feels sad.
No, not that sad, but...
Anyways, for you today, we have the spookiest of episodes prepared, where we discuss the supernatural, the ghost, the spirits, the unknown. Get it? The unknown artist.
I thought about bringing... Yeah, that's it. Okay. I was going to bring one of those noisemakers that had all the scary things on. I totally forgot.
Like a soundboard?
And it's kind of like that. It's kind of a neat one, so you can just set it here and a cat could press the button or something, be part of the podcast.
Oh, wait. You're supposed to meow, dude.
Oh. He's not going to... Okay.
It's our cat sound box.
I know. Okay. Whatever.
So anyways, continuing, we're going to start off with some icebreakers like usual. For today, we don't have very prepared special ones or anything like that.
This whole thing's not very prepared today.
No.
That's
kind of what makes it
not
fun,
even our
though.
discussion is going to, which is kind of good.
Yeah, because we can see where it kind of goes.
And it
makes
plays
it
off
more,
a lot better, too.
A little more fun.
But the icebreaker's a little bit more difficult that way.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the heck you're even thinking about. He's used to the icebreakers. I'm not. So when he says, we're going to just do this off the cuff, I don't know what that means. Scary stuff.
Well, let's do the...
One eternity later.
Actually, you know what? Let's ask each other the spookiest or scariest kind of myth, legend, or story that you've ever heard of to start off.
How about the scariest thing that's ever happened to us that scared the bejesus out of us?
Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, I got a great one.
Yeah.
You don't care if I start out?
Yeah, go ahead.
We were kids. I think I was only about 4 or 5 years old, that young.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think I was in school yet. And that little house I was telling you about a couple podcasts ago.
Very first one, actually.
Yeah, it was the very first podcast where we all lived in it, and it was like a 2-room shack or something like that. Anyway, 3-room, I think it was. 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms and a living room with the kitchen right there.
5 people.
Yeah, 10 people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we used to go, there was a set of woods behind us. We had about 3 acres, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we went back there. We used to go out there because there used to be all kinds of berries out there. It's strawberries and blueberries, and you name it. At any time of the year, we could go out there and pick some kind of berry. So we'd go out there, and there's this house way out in back. It was pretty cool. It was an old abandoned house, and everybody used to call it the slaughterhouse. Don't know why I got that name. Have no idea. I've heard all kinds of myth and legends that said that the place was actually haunted and somebody had gotten killed. It used to be a bar. Yeah. When you were out there, it was no bar. It was looked like somebody's old house is all it looked like. But it was all empty. So it wasn't
like a pig slaughterhouse or anything like that?
No. It looked like a regular house. and it had a porch on the back, but everything was all growed up around it and everything.
Yeah.
But it had this slaughterhouse name. So we'd go out there and jump on the roof and jump off the roof and stuff. Well, one day we went out there, me and my other brothers, and we heard this, "Get out of here. Go home and never come back." And I'm telling you what, when you're that young, scared the bejesus out. I never went through 3 acres worth of woods that fast in my life. I didn't even look behind me. I just ran. I don't know where my brothers were or nothing, but I ran all the way to the house. And all 3 of us were just panting. And we're telling our old brother about it, our oldest brother. He was laughing his butt off. Oh, my God. Thought it was so funny. So he went out there, even though he was laughing at us. He went out there and checked it out. Couldn't find nobody or anything, but the next day he went to school and he talked to his friends, his buddies at school.
How he scared you guys?
Oh,
all
yeah,
so bad.
they were laughing so hard at us. But I don't think I went back to that place for about 3 or 4 weeks anyway. I was so scared. I was like, it's actually haunted. But, yeah, whatever. That scared me. That's probably the worst scaring I've ever got.
Right.
As far as being scared. And to me, it wasn't really supernatural. It was a couple, high school kids getting off on it, but oh my gosh, that scared me to death. Anyway, so your turn. And be honest, is it when I scared you?
Huh?
No. Is it when I scared you?
No. Honestly, I don't have like a crazy one. I think like the 2 most that I can remember at most, and they're just little short ones, but like the youngest one I can remember is I remember we like as little kids, and I don't remember if it was when you guys were home or not, but we had like all of our friends over, or my friends at the time. I don't know who was all there now because it was when we were real small, but we tried to act like your bathroom was like a haunted like ritual thing or something like that. And
my bathroom.
Yeah, your bathroom.
Got some spare. Scary poop in there, I'll tell you.
But we tried to spook each other, and we all ended up scaring each other because we thought we were hearing noises and stuff like that. Because we had like some mask or something in there that was supposed to be haunted or something.
Oh
and we were little. I mean, like probably like 4 or something like that. But for some reason still remember it. But we were acting like it was haunted, and we were freaking each other out by trying to make voices and stuff like that. And that was probably like, it wasn't the bathroom that was the point. It was because we had like tried to summon this thing or something. It wasn't like any big ritual.
I believe in Mary Jane. I believe in Mary. They say if you say that and look in the mirror,
it's Bloody
with the lights
Bloody
off,
Mary.
Bloody Mary. It could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Then you'll see her and she'll show up behind you.
You have to have all the lights off in the house, and the doors have to be locked.
And meanwhile, your guy's right behind just waiting to just jump the bejesus out of you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Whatever.
And the other one, that actually, it wasn't like a supernatural kind of scare, but it was a couple months ago when Jordan and I were outside, and it wasn't like a freak out thing. It was just more like an uncomfortable, unsettling thing. It was when we were outside and we were recording the Million Dreams on the Roof thing.
On the roof.
And there was some creature ripping apart something, but it was at like, you got to keep in mind, it was like at midnight, right? And you just hear something like...
out in the backyard.
Well, you hear something
darkness.
Growling. It was a lot louder than some dog or something. It was like a wolf or coyote or something. But you can't see it. No, it wasn't a raccoon.
I'll tell you what, raccoons can scare the crap out of you, too. I had one when we were up camping.
Yeah.
And we had one, we left food out on a table. Don't ever do that. That's kind of a really stupid thing to do. But we left food out on a table. Raccoons got in it. They got fighting and everything, and they sound like bears fighting. And I remember waking up Dustin's mom saying, hey, we got there's bears outside. I don't know what we're gonna do about it. And we're all sitting there and trying to figure out what to do. Sounded like, and there was coons. That's what it was. But it sounded like bears. I swear to God,
I don't know.
it sounded like bear.
It was loud. That's all I remember. And I wasn't like really too freaked out about it because I went back trying to see him with a flashlight and everything.
Coon.
But something was screeching really loud, and then something was growling. It sounded like a coyote or something like that. But that was kind of unsettling because it was right like not even probably
I think
100.
I remember you said something.
Yeah,
And I
it
was
was
wondering if it was a rabbit that got caught by.
That's what I
they
think.
squeak.
Oh yeah, no, it was
you swear
squealing.
bloody Mary. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're bad.
So I'm pretty sure it was a coyote and a rabbit, but
been,
it was
could've
only like probably 100 feet away from us, and I
Yeah,
was like,
that could've
that's one of
been.
those unsettling kind of feelings because you can't really control the situation. But I think that's probably the 2 times that I got scared or whatever. Because haunted houses and stuff like that don't scare me. I have fun more than
This
get
last
scared.
one we went to
Recently,
just
that
recently,
was it wasn't. They
it was
weren't
supposed
into
to
it.
be really scary, but the people it had probably been running a couple weeks. They were not into it.
It was like the
at
last
all.
day
Oh
for
my
it, and they were
gosh.
burnt out. You could tell.
They were burnt.
But,
Definitely. Boo. The guy having the most fun had that chainsaw with
And he's
no
like
blade on it.
chasing after you. Oh, don't
Yeah,
forget the
watch
clown
out.
too. The clown that was following
the clown was
her.
good. That
Yeah,
he was
we
good.
have a family friend. She hates
Scared
clowns.
to death of clowns.
And we were all pointing. We were like, follow her. And he just kind of like sits there, turns.
She loves them.
Yeah, so that was probably the most fun we had with that.
That was a
But
lot
I
of
don't know.
fun.
I would say those are probably my 2 most, and I think that's a pretty good icebreaker. That's more backstory on us and everything.
Yeah,
so
actually it is. Sure. Sure.
And you got your question out because I know you were talking about that beforehand that you wanted to talk about that. So
Yeah.
all right. So main topic. So we tried to keep everything short this time.
Yeah, we did because we only got so much film.
SD cards are running
SD
low.
cards.
Anyways, main topic is the supernatural. If we believe in it, ghosts, the 5th dimension, stuff like that. Have our spoopy Halloween episode, and discussions like that. We might agree, we might disagree. Have some fun with it.
Okay,
I think it makes it a good
let's throw
time.
something at you right off the bat. I mean, I always cut them off. I'm terrible that way, but
I mean, we cut each other off
Yeah,
all the
we
time. I was
do.
watching and
You
editing
wouldn't do
that
that.
last
What?
podcast. Yeah. I was watching that last podcast. We cut each other off probably like every other like 2 sentences. We're like, let me throw in my opinion though.
but it's good. It's
Yeah, it was fun.
good. All right. When you watch these, do you ever have you?
But
ever
wait,
seen,
really
I should
quick, I'm
ask
wearing
you
my
that.
space jacket for
yeah,
the
that's-
supernatural.
That's real in the supernatural.
No, I was just making
Anyway.
a joke because of cutting each other off.
Yeah. So
ahead.
anyway, this.
Yeah.
You ever watch? And I'm asking you because I don't know if you've ever seen. Because he don't ever have any time to do anything because he's doing this all the time. You ever see any of the TV shows where these guys are acting like they got all these
No.
digital devices and everything, and always
The
checking out
ghost
for the
shows.
ghost shows and everything, and now set up so they'll go to these places that are really haunted. And they'll set their cameras here and their whatever devices they are. I can't even tell you. You guys probably know and tell me. I know it is. I'm telling you. Well, anyway. And they'll set them up.
100% believe that.
Oh my God! You never know what the things are recording.
Yeah.
Because the recording hums and tits and tats, and then they say, "Oh my God! Did you hear that? That said, you're gonna die. Get out of here! Run!" And you hear this.
Yeah.
Sound just exactly like that to me. I swear to God, that's what it is.
And they're really saying, man, I want some
Oh.
Cheetos and maybe a cheeseburger for the side. Some dude's talking
No.
in the back.
Yeah, to his friend is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it had picked it up from the outside the wall.
And they're like, dude, maybe we could use this recording.
That's probably true.
So,
oh my gosh.
I don't know. I honestly, maybe when I was younger, I liked watching those because it was always like that. Ooh, like this is the cool thing kind of deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I've never really been interested in them, especially now. I think they're a big joke. Because I mean, once you get into like filming and stuff, like doing the stuff that we do, you can see how many different sources of technology you can use to like send over stuff and play the audio back through something and make it look like something else and blah blah blah.
Sure.
Like having props and it's an EMF, electromagnetic field or something, reader or whatever. The readers, and you can make it look like something else, play it back, do whatever you want. But the EMF it detects a whole bunch of stuff. There's all sorts of electromagnetic frequency going around. You have 2 cameras,
Magnetic
you have
fields all over.
microphones,
Well, it's kinda like tonight when you were setting up, when we started setting up, and
the
you seen
hertz.
the hertz,
Yeah.
and you could see that on the screen when he was trying to set it up, and
Because basically the way the lighting, at least in here, works is because I'm using the same type of bulbs that I use in that. So since they are 50 hertz and the camera was recording at 60 hertz, you could see flickering across it. You guys probably caught that in the past couple podcasts because I didn't fix that till recent. But once you switch it to 50 hertz, there's no flickering. Everything's gone. It looks beautiful, right? Yeah. Actually, no, that wouldn't work
But
with the
it could have
GoPro because
been
I was recording it on the GoPro,
the
not on that.
ghost of the ocean. That's what that was. You know, because of the waves that were in it. Whatever.
Bad joke was bad.
I know. I saw like I was reaching. I was going for something.
That was a big reach. They were drowning in those waves. That's what they were doing.
I'm so sorry.
But no,
Okay.
I think, I don't know, the ghost shows and stuff like that I think are a big joke, and I think it's funny because like shows like Supernatural with Sam and Dean, how they took and made a parody out of it with the real ghost watchers or whatever it was called, Ghost Facers. I think it was Ghost Facers.
Yeah,
And they came in and they made a big joke about it. The shows like that are big whatever. I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, but they're real and this is a reason why. You know what? If you can come up with a legitimate reason right now as to why we should believe that they are real, if you can give me legitimate proof, I will consider it.
All right, now
Yeah.
on the serious side of it now.
Oh, crap.
There has been some very weird things that's happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it ain't the high school kids doing what they did out in
I
that
don't think
day.
no real circumstances are going to show up on a camera, though.
No, I don't know about that at
Yeah.
all. But I don't know. There's some real freaky stuff on that. People that are really good with photography say, nah, you're not going to do that. There's always something they can tell that, you know, whatever it is. I'm not that great at photography or anything. I don't know nothing about that. But this is stuff that's actually happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just kind of explain it. And to me, this is supernatural, very supernatural. And I don't, you know, some people might want to listen to this only because they're saying, well, I've had some weird things happen in my life. And where did that come from? Okay. And I've told you about this.
And I will cut you off for just a second. Just because I don't believe in ghost shows doesn't mean that I don't believe in the supernatural either. Because I will agree with you on that. I don't.
Okay.
It's not that I don't believe in it. I just think the ghost shows are a joke.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I love because the music's always really stressful, and then
It's eerie.
How many
and then
commercials
jump
can
scares,
they go to
and
before?
they'll throw a chair across the room, and oh my gosh, the
Did you
ghost.
see that thing? Oh yeah.
Pretty sure if ghosts were that powerful, we would all have slit
After
throats
the
by
show's
this
over,
point.
Tom saying, "Did I get a good throw on that one?" Sure did. Yeah.
Man, check out my muscles,
Check-
Hans and Franz.
Okay, but now this is something that really happened to me
Okay.
when I was a kid, and this is actually truth. Now I'm not lying to you guys at all. But when I was a kid, I think I was in my first year of high school.
Okay.
And we were checking out houses in a place I used to live when I was a kid in Vassar, Michigan. Because I don't live there now, so you guys
spoil
don't know.
the location.
I can give that one up because I don't live no place.
I'm making
near,
a joke.
No place near that now. But I used to live there when I was a kid, and it was this house up on the hill that that Mom went and checked it out and everything. So we went and looked at it and stuff. And you know, you ever hear of premonitions that you have,
Yeah.
or deja vu,
Yeah.
where you think you've seen something before. Well, this particular house, I would say I've dreamed about it dozens of times. Seriously.
You know what's funny is because I had one dream about a house.
Well, let me keep going on.
I'm kind of
this.
curious where your dream's
All
going
right.
because I almost wonder if I got it from you.
This dream was I could go into. There was this room in this house that you couldn't tell it was a room, but there was a door, and the door you couldn't tell it was a door either. But if you opened the door, you could go into a full room as a bedroom.
Okay.
And in that room, you could go behind panels and be all the way around the house, move around the inside of the house behind panels.
Yeah.
And that's what my dream was always about, was those certain things. And in order to get to that room, you actually had to go through a little bathroom. That was the second bathroom. It was upstairs. And
See,
the panel
haunted
was right
bathroom.
there.
It's not so crazy, is it?
Who said it? Oh, no. That's where it all come from. Anyhow, so as we're leaving the house, because I went through it with my mom, I said, "Mom, I've seen this house before," and she just kind of blew it off. But she said, I told her, I said, I've seen this house several times. I dreamed about it several times. And that room that's behind the panel, that's my room. That's the room I want. A lot of freaky things happen in that house. That's all I can tell you. Had bad nightmares. I've had weird sounds go on in that house. Weird things happen in that house. Scared me to death. 9 out of 10. There'd be times I'd wake up and I'd just be in a panic and everything. So later on, I grew up out of it. I stayed there and lived there. In fact, my family moved away, and I ended up renting a whole house from the gentleman that owned the house. And I got a little bit older, and I went in the Marine Corps. And after I got out of the Marine Corps, I was with my in-laws at that time. He was a truck driver, so I was riding truck with him that day. I was home on leave, and we were coming up the hill in Vassar because that house was way up on the hill.
Right.
And as we were coming up the hill, I'm talking to him. I turned to him, and, I said, I had a dream about the house I used to live on there, up here on the hill there. And I said, I dreamed it burnt down. I was chasing around a spark all day, trying to put out the spark and everything. And we got up to the hill. House was still smoldering. It had burnt to the ground that night. Now, I am not fooling you about any of that. He wouldn't talk to me the rest of the day. And I was blown away. I was quiet for a long, long time. And I tell people about it, and it's like one of those things, like I said, to me, that's almost a supernatural kind of a thing that was going on there. I don't know. All I know is I knew what happened. And I used to have dreams in that house. I'd dream about tornadoes, and then those dreams would come true. I'd dream about 3 tornadoes breaking out at the same time the night before. The next night, I would see them. And when they would happen, they'd be on the news. So, and it all had to do with that house. Don't ask me what, but that house was freaky.
You know what's funny, actually, about that, like, entirely, is because there's a show that came out not too long ago. It was called... and it's been a book for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they...
Amityville Horrors?
No. But they revamped the book into their own story, but Netflix grabbed a hold of it. It's called The Haunting of Hill House. And I was actually talking about that a little bit on that podcast that I had joined in last night. But it's literally about this family that went into this house, and the kids all thought it was normal and everything, and then it still has, like, a hold on them because it was trying to, like, keep them in the houses, like, kill them off so they'd become ghosts and live there with it or whatever. And it kind of was like that kind of sense where it was affecting their lives and kind of just making them see weird things and have weird things happen and premonitions and all sorts of special effects and stuff. So it was one of those things that it's like, I think because of that now you'd be interested in that.
I would be. I'd like to see it. Is it on right now? I'd be interested to watch. But like I said, that's something that actually happened to me, and I can totally relate to anybody who would talk. So do I think there's supernatural stuff? I do. More reasons than that, too. But yes, definitely. So you were saying there was a house thing, or is that the one you're talking about?
It wasn't quite like that. It was similar. It was kind of like the mansion style up on a hill and whatever, but it was more like spirit oriented in my dreams. It wasn't something quite like that, but I don't know. I've had dreams where there was like panels and secret stuff like that, but it wasn't quite that style, I don't think. But yeah, I've had one before, and I've never kind of quite forgotten it, but there was secret rooms and things you could fall through and things like that. And it wasn't really terrifying. It was just more like it was there.
Cool, inquisitive kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know. I
hey,
think...
you know what we forgot to say?
What?
If anybody knows if anybody has lost a hat, and...
Short story on that. There, in a town near us, there was a convention that happened not too long ago. And it was funny because, there was this big car show that happens at this town, and we were just driving around, and there was just a hat in the middle of the road. I don't know how you lose a hat when it's on your head and you can clearly see it, but it was just sitting in the middle of the road.
Biker, backwards, all kinds of crap.
I looked around. I'm just like, I seen if anybody was there. Everybody packed up and left. There was nobody around. I'm like, free hat. If they come back for it, I guess they can either ask around or just deal. Because it's not, I don't know. I went and threw it in the wash. It was pretty dirty. It looked like it got ran over a couple times or something, but I threw it in the wash. Turned out perfectly fine. I mean, it looks nice. It smells nice now, so.
Smells nice.
So,
I still wear it.
Yeah, you won't wear my hat. It makes me sad.
He did offer it to me, and I'm like,
well, because I have my Red Hood hat, and I was just like, hey, that'd be cool. If he comes to a convention, boom, we can match and wear Batman hats.
We'll see. It has been washed, so that does help. Yes.
Might have to wash it a couple more times.
Yes.
Burn off all the cooties. But no, I don't know, something on a whole different topic. I'm gonna throw it at you. Something that's always kind of interests me, because I think the supernatural does exist. I don't think ghost shows or things like that are going to spoil it or whatever, but I do think there is either a plane of existence, and which I kind of brought up to you beforehand, before we started and everything. I think there's a plane of existence where things can exist, and, you know, they might be able to breach through and stuff like that.
So you think Elvis is still alive?
Anyways, or that there's parts of the world that we haven't gotten to experience yet. Like, for example, I know this doesn't...
dead. Let him sleep. Go ahead.
I don't think that there's...
Sorry.
I can't. Not today. Anyways. But I don't, not, and this isn't quite on the supernatural sense. This is a little bit more on like the realistic, but we don't know. But you know how like there's a, what, 90,
like you said, the third,
90,
like third, fourth, fifth dimension.
97% of the ocean that we haven't explored. And there's a lot of stuff that we
my
don't know about
gosh,
that.
Yeah, but that's, to me, that's just unknown.
Exactly, but that's my point. Is there's a lot of the Earth that we still don't know about yet. And I mean, heck, there's an island, and I know that we know quite a bit about it, but still there's an island that hasn't even been touched because the type of people that live there. It's some little island full of like a tribe of people that haven't even had contact since like 100 years now or something like that. And we don't know what's going on with them, but I
would say leave them alone.
Well, right, but I'm just saying there's a lot of the Earth that we haven't explored yet, and there's a lot of stuff that we still don't know. I mean, we're still like uncovering species today that we don't know about. So why couldn't there be supernatural senses or things like that type of deal that we don't know about, or you know, the planes and stuff like that? Because
what about like the Birdman, like all these? No, I'm serious now.
I know. I laugh because there's videos that I've seen that are just people in costumes running around chasing each other in the Birdman costume.
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, like some of the places that have that was really huge holes
Bigfoot
that go
and
way down in the earth. I mean, they're big caverns and stuff, and supposedly some of the stuff have come out there.
I have seen some. There was one video. You know, a lot of videos are kind of like, oh, I can see how they did that. I can figure out how they would do that or whatever. There was one video that still kind of unsettles me. Like to this day, there was this guy with his buddy crawling around in like a cat. Or no, he didn't have his buddy. Sorry, that was a different one. The video starts off with this guy crawling around in a cavern. He has his camera and everything with him, right? And he's like kind of crawling around, and he leaves his bag in this one area because he doesn't think he'll be able to get through with it because it's a really tight fit. But he brings his camera and everything, and he kind of like crawls through and stuff like that. And he goes into this area, and you start hearing this really weird kind of like noises and kind of like screeching, not loud screeching, but like the sound is similar to it, right? And you kind of see something like not really whisk past, but you kind of see something crawling around and stuff, and the guy gets freaked, and he like tries to like look for it for a little bit, and you kind of get glimpses of it, and you're like, what the heck? Because it's something that's not shaped right at all, but it kind of like disappears and goes down a different tunnel or something like that, or back the way that he came or whatever. And so when he goes back, all of his stuff, of course, has been kind of like ravaged through, but they didn't take any of the expensive stuff. It was like taking his things like water and things like that, if I remember correctly. But it was a really, I don't know, unsettling video where you're like, okay. And you don't know if it's like that supernatural
so there is
sense,
things
but
that still can get to you that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like one of those creatures where you're like, is this something that exists? Is it something that's like supernatural in a sense? Yeah. I don't know.
I did remember another thing that scared the little bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
I was in high school. And I got to tell you about that one real quick.
Yeah.
We were watching Rosemary's Baby. And if anybody's ever watched Rosemary's Baby, you know, from way back when, it was back when I was in high school. So we know it was a long time ago.
So anyway, kind of cheesy.
So no, it's scary enough. I mean, I guess if now it wouldn't bother me at all, but back then it was, you know, it was like one of the first like demon possession movies.
Yeah.
So it was, the baby was a demon, whatever. So we're sitting there watching it, and this was the scary part. So the car out in the driveway starts honking. Nobody's out there. Lights start flashing off and on. Car sets on fire, and we're right at the point where she's having her baby. Great timing. Just
wait, this was IRL. Like this is in real life?
This is in real life. This really happened. So and what happened is the ignition in the car shorted out. God knows how. But it
perfectly
burnt.
timed.
Oh, it burnt. The car was gone. Trashed. But right during the old Rosemary's Baby being delivered. Nice. Felt wonderful.
Cursed
Good
movie.
kind of
Whip
stuff.
that in the trash.
I never wanted to see the rest of it.
Burn down the house. Might as well leave.
So I did remember that, and I wanted to tell you about that one. That was a scary right there for sure.
There was something a while ago. Oh no. Actually, this freaked me out a little while ago. Is you weren't here because you're away quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sitting in my chair and I was editing something. I had the door closed because I was recording and I wanted it closed so it doesn't show out into the hall,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was recording something. I heard this big bang. Like I could have swore to you, like the boxes I have for selling the stuff or whatever.
Something
I could have
dropped down.
swore that the entire stack came down crashing. Like it was that loud and it was that heavy of a fall. I looked around and there's nothing. The entire house. And it didn't sound like it was up in the attic.
Tell me that.
There was nothing in the attic. Like I didn't go up there or whatever, but it didn't sound like it was up there. It sounded like it was right outside. Like the cat knocked something down or everything came crashing or something. There was nothing. I looked around the whole entire house and there's nothing there. And it's like one of those moments where you're like, okay. And it sounded kind of like glass shattering or something like that too.
Yeah,
so I
you
looked
did tell
around
me
at the
about that.
windows. I looked at the doors and everything.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And it's like, what the frick?
Yeah, you told me about that. And I can't. Those kind of things kind of just
unsettle you just
they
a little.
unsettle you, and you get over it. But yeah, it
didn't really stay with me.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
right.
I looked around at everything. I don't know.
So back to the real subject.
Yeah,
Do you believe in ghosts?
I would say yes, and
In what sense of the
something-
matter?
it's something that fascinates me, but also kind of terrifies me. And I think it's because it's something, and with
Unknown.
people, it's with us. The things that terrify us are the things that generally we can't control.
Unknown. The
Yeah.
Unknown.
So, but I don't know. It's something that really fascinates me as well too, and I don't know. It has a pull on me, I guess. It's something that I hope kind of exists, but I don't know. It's one of those things you don't know if you want to exist, but you do because it's something that pulls at you, But no, I do. I am interested if it exists on a different plane, though, too.
Do you think it's... Here's the question, though. Do you think it's a ghost because there's, like, all the stories are about they're stuck here and they can't get to where they're going? Or there's a dimension that's there that exists?
Could be like a purgatory type of sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, because why would, if you thought that way, then why would some ghosts bother people and other ones don't bother nobody at all?
I don't...
If there's that dimension that you're thinking, or is there an actual purgatory?
Well, a lot
And
of
that's where
times
they're
people
reaching out
assume
for.
purgatory is for like the supernatural, right? It's not for regular people to go to. It's like all the supernatural things like werewolves or vampires or whatever, right? That's what is supposed to go to purgatory, supposedly. In a lot of...
I ain't never heard that one before.
It's in a lot of story senses nowadays. Like that's what everybody throws at it. But I don't know. In most cases, purgatory would be like for the things that are still here, right? It's like the fifth dimension type of deal, right?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't really believe in people holding on in that sense, even in like a hatred sense. Like, for example, say like the World Wars or something, right? I know there's a lot of stories about, you hear like soldiers and stuff still in graveyards and stuff. Those that are resentful or sorrowful or something of that type, where they're still holding on because they want to find their thing that they are settled with, that they're okay with life or whatever, right? But I don't know. I don't really think people have the power to hold on, but I do believe that there is another type of realm or dimension that we can't see where things can exist.
So going along with that, if you believe in the Bible and you believe in God and everything, you believe that man was made in the image of God. So man might have had that ability
To ascend.
to be able to talk and to speak to things on another dimension. In other words, their minds might
Well,
have
then
been
you're getting into
open that
like
up.
the, what are they called? The ones that touch and can feel spirits and speak to the dead.
I know what you're talking about. That's I don't know.
Yeah.
Not the soothsayers, but no, I know what you're talking about.
Called?
Yeah, of course.
Well, then you have
we
like
should know
exorcists
that.
and stuff too that are supposed to get rid of like demons and stuff, and what gives them the power to be able to do something like that. Because I don't think a single phrase or a single...
I don't think one person that thinks they're so good is going to be able to do that. I can't believe that, because I think if it was a real demon, I think you'd get your butt tore up real good. That's what I think. But
So,
I mean, if you believe in demons and stuff like that,
even on the sense of, if you weren't, because I know there's a lot of people that aren't as religious too, right?
right?
So maybe for those types of people too, maybe they believe in like the auras or whatever, the energies or chakras or
Voodoo, sticking dowels,
not
Setting
warlocks,
things on fire.
witches and witchcraft and stuff like that too. And so maybe like the energy of the earth or something of that too, where people could hold on or be able to reach things through that type of deal. I don't know, honestly. I think there is a possibility that things like that exist, because there's no way that there's this many types of stories and ideas and things of that sort, like philosophies and all that kind of things, without having some beginning to it. So I think they're
like the drawings on caves. and
yeah,
stuff.
like even origins
Some
and things.
gooner he's not sitting there thinking about, I'm going to draw this image on a cave for later on they can argue about if it's real or not. They were actually trying to tell stories.
That's a dank meme, bro.
Yeah. They were actually just trying to tell stories then.
Right.
So what really did happen? How do we know? I mean, I don't know. That's like, which would bring us to a whole nother subject we don't need to get on to, but do we believe in aliens? That one I want to
That's a whole nother one. We
That
have that
one
for
I wanna
another
get
time.
into.
It's Spooktober,
Yes,
though. Focus. No more cutting out footage.
Okay, no, I don't want to do that because that'll last a while.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that was because recoloring and editing stuff together, and that was annoying.
So, but
13 hours of exporting.
Yeah. Anyway, but ghosts themselves, I think, in myself, what I think is, I don't think we would have the ability to hold on, like you said.
Yeah.
Because I think if there was, there'd be so much more spooking going on right now.
Right.
But I think everybody loves
because there's a lot of angry and sad people. There would be so many more ghosts than, and I know a lot of people have ghost stories, right? But I really don't think that somebody can stick around past it, And you've heard of stories where people have been dead for like 5+ minutes or 10+ minutes, and they've somehow managed to miraculously come back to their body, and
leave
it's
their
like
spirit and then come back. Yeah.
I don't know if they were really still there though.
But on our clinical way that we gauge death and say, they were dead. Because that's the way we do our, that's the person's dead.
I mean, past I think 3 minutes is when they call them dead.
I don't know what it is, but I do know it's past a certain amount of time, and some people have been dead a lot longer than that even, and then they come back and quit breathing and stuff, and I don't know either. It's kind of hard to say.
I don't know. I do think, though, that there is, like, supernatural creatures or supernatural things that exist on a different plane or that exist on Earth that maybe we don't know, or maybe that have just kind of, like, adapted and things like that.
Bigfoot?
Bigfoot?
He
No.
really is alive.
I don't think Bigfoot's a thing.
This is relative right here. Yeah. Anyway.
Touched his ball. He didn't even move. Is he dead? Is he still breathing?
Right. What's the one there that's in the big old Loch Ness monster? I actually think now, because you keep finding every once in a while something flushes ashore from the ocean that dies from really deep, and it's a huge creature. So there's always that possibility. Dinosaurs actually dove down.
Supernatural, though.
But it goes back to, like you said, something being
the creatures,
non-existent that you don't know about.
Supposedly.
That would scare the living bejesus out of somebody.
Well, I mean, have you seen those
But it's
ones,
not supernatural, though.
Have you seen those one skeletons and, like, carcasses that have washed up that we have no idea what they are? Yeah. And some of them kind of are similar to dolphins and sharks and things like that, but they
there's the horror story, but is it supernatural? Probably not. It's probably something we just don't
understand.
Seen the species before, don't know. what
But
it
then
is.
going back on what you said earlier with like the biblical sense where people believe in angels and demons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people think they exist on a different plane because there's been like footage and recordings of them kind of showing up and phasing out of existence, supposedly. And, you know, I don't think a camera would be able to catch them, but, you know, people are going to argue me on that though, too.
Well, because demons are technically spiritual and they possess people.
Mm-hmm.
So how could you do if it's a spiritual being?
Right.
But like they said, all those gauges and everything. Oh God, I wish I had one of those.
I don't know. And then too, going on that, for the biblical sense, if you were how we were talking about like energies and being able to have powers and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something that's always kind of fascinated me, and this doesn't really go on the supernatural sense on like powers and things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not so much on the ghost sense, but like, for example, the Ark of the Covenant,
Yeah.
where, you know, people would touch it and dead.
Die.
So why is it that like a power like that couldn't be transferred to people too, in that sense, I guess, to go as a counter argument to what I said earlier
Sure.
too.
I know what you're
So I don't know. I don't think, in all honesty, the ghost can hold on. I think that people can
So you know
still
what's going to
have.
happen tonight, don't you?
Oh yeah, some crazy, just because life wants to prove me wrong, instantly smacks me across the face.
We'll be sleeping and both of our butts are going to get woke up. We're going for the hell of a
Something's gonna
haunting.
screech.
Tonight we're going to be scared to death.
So video's not coming out. If you guys see this
Yeah.
footage, you know, post it. It'll be saved on my
Yeah.
camera. Uploaded twice on my computer, put into Google
They
Drive.
both died.
Um,
Their necks were sliced.
goodness.
Nice.
But no, I don't think spirits are sticking around. I think that people can still influence one another from passing it on, but I don't think spirits hold on. That not in like a ghost sense, right?
Mhm.
But they can influence each other in maybe memories or like slight little things throughout life, you know.
Mhm. So evil spirits, and to see that's what some people would, and that's the definition. Is that a ghost? In other words, if somebody gets possessed, because that's what some people would say.
but
Does the
we're-
person get possessed by a evil spirit, or does it get possessed by an evil person, an evil ghost?
But we're quick to assume too, like when things happen to us IRL, that it correlates to our lives because
do-
that's as much as we
Yeah,
understand.
but what did we just do? Our last video, what did we do on our last podcast?
With Joker,
Was he kind of messed up or what?
yeah,
So is he being possessed, or is it just
psychology in
yeah?
his own life.
Is it a mental illness? So is that what a lot of people assume is possession of, you know, of a evil spirit or not? So a lot of times I'm more willing to go on that, lean on that side of it.
The science,
Yeah, the science part
side
of it.
things.
But
But science can also
there's things
prove
like
them too.
well, exactly, and like
Yeah.
the house thing, I can't explain that to you. I
Mm-hmm.
have no way to explain that whatsoever. But I know it did happen to me, and I know what I went through, and I know what, you know, and that's all I can tell you is of the situation.
I will
So
actually
do I
say
believe
I've
it happened?
had-
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those dreams where I've seen things actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, now that you got me thinking about it, that I haven't connected for a while, but I just realized I've had a couple of those where things like that have actually happened. So I don't know.
It's like those people that, you know, hold up a number backwards and they can't see it and they tell you what the number is.
Yeah.
Clairvoyant is some of it. That's not the exact
Clairvoyance,
word I want to use, but
Prediction or it's like the all-knowing thing. I can't think of what
Right.
it's called. We suck at words lately.
read your mind. But that, yeah, it's kind of like that's what we're trying. We're both thinking the same thing.
Telekinesis
Yeah,
is what you're
there
kind
you
of
go.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I have ESP.
I like
ESPN.
ESPN too. Yeah.
ESP is actually what it is.
But-
Extracentral perception, I
But-
believe is what it is.
But like I was kind of talking about earlier too, where, you know, we were like, oh, you know, there's a spirit chasing me. It's my grandfather, you know, trying to speak to me. A lot of times we assume stuff like that though too, because it's
drugs.
That's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say because something happens and then we correlate it to ourselves
Good
when it could be
drugs.
something entirely different. something happens around us and we correlate it to our lives because that's as much as we understand, that's as much as we've experienced. When it could be something entirely different completely, that could be meant for someone else, could be just a thing that happens in life or the environment around us because we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
so we're just like,
you said
it
that
has to do with
before.
me.
Yeah, you said that before. It's something you don't understand.
Yeah.
Whenever there's something we don't understand or can't comprehend, we have a tendency to get our butts scared about it.
I will say something that's interesting that we're kind of fighting ourselves on, kind of back and forth, where we're like trying to disprove that ghosts exist, but we still believe in the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for both of us,
And
which sense?
but that's why I said that's why I said what I said. Is a ghost really a spirit of somebody that just doesn't want to let loose and go either to eternity, to hell or to heaven or whatever, or is it really just an evil spirit, a supernatural being, like a
who specifies
demon
that
or
it's
something
evil,
that's
though,
actually.
too?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, how many angels do you hear about doing the stuff that we're talking about?
Well, that's what you're specifically talking about, but there's a lot of things that kind of occur too that are good things as well.
Too. Sure.
Yeah. I don't think ghosts, like people that have passed, are the ones that, excuse me, goodness, I don't believe the ones that pass still
just like a fart
exist on our plane, right? I don't think they can affect our plane. I don't think we have the power to be able to come back to this plane of reality, right? Because I do think that there is multi-planes or maybe even multi-dimensions or multiverses or whatever that exist around us because we have no clue what even is existence or the universe or anything of that. I do think that a lot of those kinds of things can exist easily. But I don't think that we have the ability to hold on to this existence once we pass. I don't see it as that kind of thing. I think it would be some other kind of dimensional thing occurring. Because, I mean, who knows what kind of powers or what kind of energies and things like that exist in there. Because, I mean, we figured out there's dark matter in the universe. We figured out there's regular matter. So if we just discovered all this different kind of stuff, and, I mean, we just made the technology to be able to capture a black hole, supposedly, you know. So what kind of technology will we have in the future to be able to see something
It's amazing.
else?
I'll tell you what, and the great thing about doing this podcast is we can relate to... You've seen technology change a lot in your life, but I'm telling you what, I've seen a lot in my life.
Right.
I can remember back when I was a kid, we had 2 channels, sometimes 3, 5, 13, and 12. And 13 was a UHF channel. And yeah.
Some good stuff right there.
Black and white, not colored TV. And earlier when I was younger, we didn't have a TV.
Yeah.
So, and I can remember riding on a buckboard.
Now they have bendable phones, by the way, ones
Yes,
that can just
they do.
wrap around you and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Look at some of the earlier movies where people are carrying around their spy movies. They're carrying around these phones that got a battery just about as big as their car. And they're got this big old hunk of phone on it. And that
Pulls
was
out
neat.
an antenna that's 3 foot long, drops the little box that you're
But
able
that's
to talk
what I'm
to.
saying.
Hello, in
Yeah.
my brick.
That's what I'm saying. No, it's changed that much. And it's changed. It's changing super fast for you, but on a smaller nanotechnology is crazy insane. That's something we want to get into. I don't want to really go into that either.
Because that's a whole nother topic.
That is a great topic. So we need to get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Anyway, but things have changed a lot. That's the point. So, and we don't know. I bet you somebody that would watch a scary movie today would think to myself, oh my God, it all looks so real. I watched one today. I don't remember what it was. Just a little bit before I come home. Stopped at Barb's and said hello to her.
What?
There was a older movie. I guess it's been on before, and it's about Draculas and you know, vampires and stuff. This special effects on this the special effects were awesome. I loved a lot of blood splattering and guts, and it was cool.
I mean, they do that. You know, what's funny about that too is you can go on a regular drama TV show nowadays. Like, for example, Helen's got me sucked into the Vampire Diaries. And we're watching that, and even like the originals, and they are slitting people's throats and cutting off heads and ripping
Guts
each other
falling
apart.
out
But it looks legitimate, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, if you had somebody watching, somebody just start watching. Remember back when the World of Worlds hit, people were jumping off buildings and stuff in real life.
Yeah.
There's people that killed themselves because they thought the world was being invaded.
That radio broadcast where it was supposed to be.
Orson Welles, World of Worlds. If you ever
Yeah.
want to learn a little bit more about it, read about it, people died because of that.
There was a radio
broadcast.
broadcast that they did, and they at the beginning said that it was a like fan thing. It was supposed to be an enjoyable, like, what if kind of thing. And their broadcasting made it sound legitimate, and everybody started believing it and freaking out and stuff. And I mean, that could also kind of play into this too, is how much does social media and, you know, the people around us and stuff play into what our beliefs actually are nowadays too.
All the ghost hunters we have out there.
Oh, 100%.
Right
they
there.
they make me shaking in my boots.
Oh, I do. I watch that and I just go, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't want to go to bed. But
Honestly,
like
I could
you
watch
said.
that too, go to sleep.
Oh my gosh, no doubt.
It's a freaking joke. I don't know. And then kind of touching base on that too, when we were talking about supernatural creatures and stuff like that, like vampires, zombies, stuff like that. Do you think that any of those have the possibility of happening?
Ooh, no.
I think zombies could, with the type of bacteria and things that we've been making.
But you gotta.
Yeah, actually, real quick talk about that too, because we're talking about the creepy.
We're gonna put that. Let's put that in another one too, because
Well, quick.
there's some interesting things.
There is. That's more on the science aspect. I won't go too much
But
on
it's
the
more
science
of an
aspect.
animal thing.
Yeah, because you know where I'm going with it.
I do.
There's a
But they are
deterioration
on
bacteria that actually rips apart, like, I think it's deer at the current moment, deer
It
and
is
cow.
deer right now.
Yeah, deer right now. But there's some type of bacteria that makes them literally start falling apart and deteriorating, but they're still living, even though their organs and everything are hanging out. And they'll start eating their own feces and sometimes even other deer and things like that. So people are like, zombie disease? So I think something in that sense could exist, but it would be something where they're not continuously living. They're still living, but it would be an altered form of life.
I remember back, I don't know how long ago. I see that gets. I don't want to really get in it because we could talk about zombies.
Science and stuff like that, right?
Remember a few years ago in Florida. That's all I could say. Look it up. You'll find it.
They said that was a lot of bath salts, though.
I don't know.
But the dude ate. There was this guy in Florida that he was eating an old man's face, and you can look it up. The guy recovered and everything. So it wasn't like a disease that spread, but if you want to look that up, there's some gruesome images, so make sure that your stomach is ready to handle that, because his whole face and eyes and everything were eaten off.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to look that up, just look up like Florida bath salt zombie or something, and you'll find images real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, things like that. I don't know. I think, and a lot of, zombies originally started, supposedly the origins from it were from the voodoo stuff.
Yeah.
So
right.
I think something like it could exist. Now, vampires and stuff, I don't think vampires could exist.
Not to the
Maybe
extreme
people
that we're
that
talking
crave
about,
blood, but I don't think fangs forming out of nowhere and super strength and being able to regenerate and all that. Nah, I don't think so.
I don't.
I don't think so.
Another topic, another day.
Well, it's supernatural. It's
I
still
know,
on
it is.
the creatures
It is.
and stuff
Yep,
like that.
it
So
is.
I don't know.
I know what I want to get in, and maybe we could do this next week.
Hmm.
I would love to get into superheroes. Is it possible that we have superheroes among
like
us?
mutations,
People,
mutants,
with
X-Men.
Well, leave it at that. That will make this, because I've got some pretty cool, amazing things to show you. I'll leave it at that.
Could
I'll
be.
make for the next one. I actually was thinking we were gonna do
Choosing the
something else,
topic
but-
already? How dare you?
Yeah. Well, that gives them something to look forward to.
That's fair.
Yep.
That could be fun. All right. Is there any last things that we want to discuss before calling it?
No, so we're saying no on the ghost thing, but supernatural.
Supernatural.
yes.
What about multidimensional? Do you think that exists?
I do.
Creatures of
I
different
do.
dimensions?
I do. I don't know where we fit in it as people on the earth, to be honest with you. I don't know where we fit in that. Because I don't know how.
And then
honestly, I
that gets
don't.
into the place where is multidimensional all across the universe?
Right, that's what I'm
Is
saying. I
it-
don't know.
I don't know.
It's a good question.
There was a good story a while back too, where it was talking about these multidimensional creatures coming out of a different plane because we messed with science too much, and it formed a bridgeway to it,
Yeah,
and
I
it
don't
started
know.
ripping them
Yeah.
apart and stuff, and that was pretty interesting. But they were like beings of light, and so that was, I don't know. How would something of a different plane come through to our reality, you know?
That's something else
And
we could talk
how would
about,
it
too.
react with this plane of existence?
That
you
we
know?
could add with that supernatural thing.
Yeah.
Because that's part of one of the things I could throw in
Okay,
there.
so ghosts, big no.
I'd say no.
Okay, supernatural creatures like, let's say, vampires, zombies, stuff like that. I would say 50-50.
I don't know about vampires or
I think it's still science and
werewolves or anything
bacteria
like
oriented.
that. I do think there's a possibility of demons, angels and demons, yes.
Now, do you consider those multidimensional creatures, though?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay,
I do.
so-
I think they're supernatural, just like we said.
Yeah.
Supernatural. It depends on how you're describing that, but I do think they exist.
All right. I agree. I do have to agree with you on this one. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think ghosts are a thing, because otherwise we'd probably be getting some interesting responses. Okay, now you want to leave after the discussion's done. I'm glad. Such a jerk.
I told you he wants to take the camera. Like, poor guy here.
Kirby just wants to
Poor
live.
Kirby, ah.
And then insert Poyo here.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, I do agree with you on this one, fully on this one. And I don't know, I think the deja vu and clairvoyance and things like that, I think that does exist. I don't know why. I think it's kind of, and it's going to sound kind of weird, but I think it's like that Sixth Sense kind of deal where we don't, because a lot of people are like, you don't have full 100% access to your brain. Yes, we do. I just think there's things that we don't fully know that affect us.
I think you got, yes, you do, but you don't. Okay.
You don't.
The nervous system and the brain
Yeah.
is such a complex thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we really got to access everything, I'd think about that a lot. I do. I'll be honest with you.
Same.
Because there's some smart.
And that show
genius
called
people.
Limitless, too, with that pill that makes everything active, and you become super. Which I was watching a video about that last night, where there's this smart drug now where it makes everything connect faster. Your receptors.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. There's so many. I'm just telling you, a lot of brain stuff that's supposed to make you a lot more
quick
and witty and everything.
Yeah.
And more up for college and stuff. Don't suck yourself into it.
Well, if you're going to use
No
something
proof
like
whatsoever
that, you
on
still
it.
better be willing to put in the work, though, too.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not like if you take something,
absolutely.
you're like, oh, I don't have to put in any effort. I'm just whoosh.
I'll party all night and now I'll be doing
sorry.
pizza, party, beer. And I'm going to get up in the morning after I went to sleep at 5 o'clock. I'll be up
comes all
at
the
6
edits.
ready to go.
There's so many zooms in on
think
faces
so.
I have to do now. I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion, but I do think stuff like that exists. I just don't have a full explanation as to why. That could be another dimensional
And I
thing
don't
too.
either.
Who knows? Who knows? You decide.
One of these days we'll probably know when we're dead.
Probably. That's another thing that's really freaky right now too, is people being frozen. This is a whole nother topic. But just
man.
ideas to throw at them. People
love
being
that,
frozen
yeah,
and being
yeah.
brought back to life later
Yeah.
because their brains are saved.
Cryonics.
Cryogenic freezing.
Cryogenics. I love the thought of first time I ever thought about that, I read a book. It was called Door into Summer. Awesome.
I have another show for you that you need to watch now.
Awesome
It's
stuff.
called oh man. It was that one that I was showing you where the people's brains are saved in discs and they can be removed and taken out and put into new bodies and stuff like that.
We better end this because we're going to keep
We're
going
gonna keep
deeper
talking
and
forever.
deeper and deeper.
All right. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, oh wait, no, I gotta see if you remember how to do the outro. Ooh.
No, I don't, so don't ask me.
No, but
I'm so bad.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think ghosts exist? Do you think supernatural creatures exist? Things that we haven't experienced, multidimensional planes, biblical things, non-biblical things like witchcraft and stuff like that. What do you think? Do you think energy and matter is a part of it? What do you guys think?
I
don't
think
know,
there
let us
was a
know.
lot of witches burned that shouldn't have died.
Salem witch trials?
Salem witch trials.
Anyways, do look into multidimensional theories, though. They are
There
very
was a lot of
interesting.
affairs back then. That's what a lot of that was. Guys,
I've
didn't
known
wanna-
her.
guys
I've
didn't wanna
known her.
call. They didn't want to get caught. That's what it was.
But anyways, thank you guys all. Ooh, I think the camera just went out?
It did.
Ah!
Yeah, we still got the other one going, right?
Yeah, we do have the other one. We can just throw that footage in.
Anyway.
But thank you guys all for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like, follow, and sub. If you didn't, let us know why. Tell us how to improve. Check out all those links down below in the description. We got a whole bunch of different kinds of stuff like Discord servers, Twitch,
Absolutely.
D-Live, YouTube if you're watching on Twitch or D-Live. Merch if you want to buy an Unknown Artist shirt. I'm not wearing it right now. I'm repping my girl Spider-Gwen, but you know.
We do have lots of them too.
No, we're getting to
shirts.
about half now.
We still got lots then.
But yeah, get a shirt. They're really cool, really
They are.
comfy.
They're cool. They're cool.
And aside from that, let us know what you want us to talk about next time. We already have topic ideas, but you know, for future videos.
Yep.
Tell us whose answer you liked best from this one. So maybe we can have a loser and have to do some dares. People still have not given us dares.
No, they haven't.
So just saying, you guys have an opportunity to make us do things or talk about things. Prime opportunity right here.
Yep.
On do it. It's your choice.
Yep.
I'm
Absolutely.
going higher pitch. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
Anyways, talk to y'all later. Stay positive, stay creative. We will catch you in the next episode. Peace off. Bye. Oh, now you want to come back.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls